I think that's very fair. Nobody knows what's going to happen on day one when Parliament returns from recess next Tuesday. Nobody knows how it's going to pan out. The numbers are very tight, and that's what it comes down to. The fact that the government is a minority government, the fact that the opposition doesn't quite have the numbers to be able to push things their way, and ultimately we have to see day by day how things proceed next week.
And the thing that I've had one takeaway from yesterday, yet again, just to remind me, something that's been going on for most of my life, is that the Conservative Party isn't one party. It is in a huge civil war at the moment. There is no other way of putting it. And I spoke to Sir Ken Clarke, arch Remainer, Andrea Leadsom, painted sometimes as an arch Brexiteer. I spoke to them both yesterday, one a current Secretary of State, the other a former huge beast of the Conservative Party, still a beast of the Conservative Party, I think, Ken Clarke. And they were at complete and utter loggerheads. Ken Clarke saying that his Prime Minister was acting like a petty dictator. Unbelievable language about your own party.
Yes, I mean, it's become very nasty. The language has become pretty vitriolic, and that's even between members of the same party. The issue is that for Brexiters, it's becoming an ideology almost that has to be achieved. People view the referendum as, you know, the direction that they need to go in. For others, they are worried about the real damage that a no-deal Brexit could cause, and will do everything to try to stop it. So that within parties, within the Conservatives, you have some MPs who are prepared possibly to even vote down their own government in order to prevent a no-deal Brexit.
Sarah, the interesting aspect for me is just how little movement we've really had from the pound this week, and stocks, and gilts for that matter. It's almost as though the markets are saying, well, this has been going on for 3 years, and actually we haven't seen the UK economy fall off a cliff in the way that was predicted by previous chancellors and by Mark Carney. In fact, there's some stability in the UK economy, and not a lot of difference with what we're seeing in other European economies at this point as we look towards the end of a cycle. In terms of the work you're doing around what comes next, how clear is it to you that a no-deal Brexit outcome will be a disaster?
I think it would result in quite a lot of upheaval. The big risk is interruption to supply chains, but also the damage potentially to sentiment, and we know that that can spiral and create all sorts of unintended consequences. So I think if you look at where the pound is at the moment, then we view it as a sort of weighted average of the probabilities of different outcomes. If there were a no-deal Brexit, we think that you could see quite a dramatic decline in the pound. If there is a deal, by contrast, you could see quite a strong rally. And that's what's interesting. The foreign exchange market is telling us that no deal is a risk, because whenever it looks more likely that that's going to happen, we see the pound fall. Whenever it looks possible that no deal could be off the table, the pound rallies.
Just on that, the supply chain story, is it true or is it a red herring? Everybody that needs to secure their supply chain has had 3 years to focus on this. Ultimately, if we end up with a no deal, it doesn't mean that the goods stop coming in. It just means that there may be an additional payment to be made, or there may be a little bit of a delay as there's additional paperwork to be processed. Are the fears about pharmaceuticals and fresh produce and so on and so forth overdone at this point? Given everybody's had plenty of time to work on this, I'm sure Tesco's is not going to run out of peaches tomorrow just because we have a no deal, if that's the outcome.
I think a lot of companies certainly have taken action to secure supply chains, and some companies have moved headquarters, moved production, moved suppliers, in fact, to the EU. But the big problem is that at the moment, of course, you have very free movement of goods coming into the UK and goods going out to the EU. Under a no-deal Brexit, the risk is that checks at the border delay that process. And because so far it's happening seamlessly, any delay, even if it's a very minor delay, could very quickly result in backlogs. And for fresh produce in particular, for pharmaceuticals, those are the sorts of products that can't afford to be sitting around at the back of a big long queue en route to Calais.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.